got to be dingoes, right? It's not like me to get lost. It's also not like me to get confused. That's a burrow, right? Oh, what even is that? It's got 3 toes this time. There's not ostriches or emus up here. That's so interesting. Didn't think you were allowed dogs up here. So does that mean that's a dingo? Maybe one of the rangers or resort people's dogs? But it looked like it was walking on its own. There was no footprints next to it. Yeah, there they are again. Now look, paw prints. Maybe paw prints, but there's no human footprints next to them. Or look, I'm gonna go off up here. Interesting. It's got to be dingoes, right? I'm a little bit lost. I think this is taking me back around again. I need to figure out where I'm going. That sign says Kestrel Loop. No Kestrel Loop on the map. I guess I'm just going to go that way. But I really want to go that way. I'm going to go that way. The older I get, the more confused I get. I'm not going to complain about anything in this video. That's what we want. Snowshoe trails. We're going to head up. Ooh, rock. Try to avoid skiers. That is an animal that's been fossicking for something. Maybe a wombat. Oh, let's go up there. Looks like fun, right? Disappears off up into the trees. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, there'd definitely be wombats up here. I kind of thought maybe they would hibernate in winter. I don't know why I thought that. I don't really know too much about Australian wildlife. Some more cool rocks. I've got mine on the back, but don't really need them at the moment. I think it's a little bit patchy, and I'm kind of doing the right just in boots. I think if it gets too much more difficult or squishier, I'll probably put the shoes on, but at the moment I don't need them. I was smart this time, I wore less layers. Bloody hell, that last trip. But this is kind of fun, exploring a little bit. We're at a bit of a junction, which is good because I've got a really good sign here. So, I'm down here. And I kind of want to try Eco Flat Trail. Going to get to the place called the camp, and then we're going to stop and have some food. So Eco Flat Trail is that one. That one? This is how I get lost. That way. Just in case no one wondered, it's currently 11 degrees. Patchy in places. It's kind of what the guy at the information booth said, but that's fine. You definitely couldn't skate on it. These trails are mixed use. You're not really allowed to walk up here, but I've got my snowshoes on the back, and it's not really deep enough for snowshoes, so I'm kind of just walking in the middle. You got cross-country ski tracks there and there, so I'm kind of just trying to like walk in the middle where it's, or just in the bits where it's rough or off to the side or whatever, just wherever the tracks aren't. So just a little bit of trail etiquette. Yeah, it's quite nice up here in this section anyway. There's definitely some patchy sections, and it definitely needs some more snow. Picnic table just over there. I'm going to sit down and have some food, some water, because I'm really hot and really hungry. I don't know if that's going to work or not. It's a little bit windy up here, and I've just put my glove over the end of the phone just to cover up the microwave. Cover up the microphone a little bit. So we'll see how it turns out. There's my lunch. I'm so hungry. I brought hardly any water too. Made a bit of a boo-boo with the water, and I tried to blame everybody else for it, but it's really my fault for not filling up before I left. I kind of thought that I'd better find water along the way, so I stopped an hour away at a little park to try and fill up from one of the water thingies in the park, and no water came out because it was frozen solid. So I was like, okay, well, I'll stop at the little town that's just at the bottom of the mountain, and I'll fill my water bottles up there. And then I got there, and their water fountains were frozen as well. So I was like, okay, well, surely there'll be water at the resort. So I drove all the way up the mountain to the resort. Lady usher at the car park said, oh yeah, go in the restaurant. And then I said to the girl behind the counter in the restaurant, oh, is there anywhere I can fill my water bottle up? And she was like, no. And I said, there's nowhere in the entire resort that I can fill my water bottle up. She said, no, the water out of the tap's not drinkable, but you can buy a bottle of water for $4. And I was like, nah, I'm good. You can keep your bottle of water for $4. So I'm trying to make this do. Lunch today is a filled roll. Alright, definitely don't want to go down that trail. Scat. What is that? Oh, really small footprints. Those are my footprints. That's because I've just come in there, looking back, and then there's that, look. They're tiny. Maybe that's who did the scat. This would be so much fun to ski. Oh, so much more fun than walking. Look how patchy this section is. This is a cross-country ski trail. Last week or two there's been heaps of snow dumped. So it looks promising, you know, if the rest of the season goes like this, it's going to be a ripper, and that's probably what I'm going to spend all of my money on. It's so quiet, apart from the wind. Got a couple doing cross-country skiing that have been keeping up with me most of the way, so they're going a little bit slow. So I keep trying to just get far enough ahead that I can set up the camera and do my little YouTube walk-bys without being spotted, because I don't know, they wouldn't give a shit, but I'm still weird about it. I'll get over it one day. currently 8 degrees. Water tastes so much better when you know you're about to run out of it. Oh mate, another hill. Hope this track ends soon. Oh, sit down. Talking about running out of water. I was living in London in the early 2000s and used to do a lot of drugs back in those days, and I'm sorry if this triggers a few people or I get a whole bunch of unsubscribers, but whatever, it's my channel. Remember I spent the weekend with my mate and we went to see the Happy Mondays on the Friday night, stayed up all night long, and then the next day started doing other stuff and drinking heaps, and so partied Saturday night as well. And then Sunday I had to drive all the way back to Manchester where I was living, which I think was about an hour and a half. This is a long time ago. And I was so dehydrated and I didn't realise because I'd been bloody abusing myself all weekend. Had a bottle of water in the car and I was in the footwell of the passenger side. And it had been in there for weeks and weeks. Like, man, I have to do this. So I ended up grabbing the bottle of water and popping the top and had a smell, and it was the most rancid water you could ever imagine. I'm sure there's worse, but you know, this was pretty bad. And I drank it. It was horrible. It was seriously horrible. Made it back to Manchester without dying and knocked on my front door, and my girlfriend at the time answered the door, and she took one look at me and was like, "What the hell happened to you?" And I didn't realise, but I must have passed out on the Saturday night, and someone decided that it would be funny to shave the back of my head, and they just shaved a skid mark out the back of my head. So I was looking rough as guts, like you can imagine. Anyway, I'll leave it there. The map, which I've shoved in here, left pocket. I think unless anything exciting happens, I might just leave it there for a little bit. I think I don't have much water left and I don't really want to turn around. So yeah, I'm going to bugger off. We are on the Woolly Butt Trail. Gap, I can hang a left and go back down Echo Flat Trail. No, joins up to the, fuck it. It's not like me to get lost. It's also not like me to get confused. Yes, please be the gap, please be the gap. Yeah, sick. Right, sit down. If I go that way, that joins up the snowshoe trail and heads down back to the village. What if it takes me ages to get back? And you can't take shortcuts sideways because there's just like thick scrub. So I went through all the what ifs. What if I get back to the car park late and the gate's closed? Anyway, I'm gonna have some water and then stop worrying. I want to take a moment just to enjoy this tree. This rock. You have no idea how happy I am to be going downhill right now. Doesn't look like it, but that's downhill. These are not ski pole holes. These are footprints. What is it? Oh, it's a hoof. Look, you can see the two little toes or whatever they are disappearing off into there. What has hooves around here? Are there deer up here? Does anybody know? And just for reference, that's a ski pole hole. That's a ski pole hole. You can tell because it's got the shroud around it. This is definitely a burrow. That's a burrow, right? Look at it, it's been hollowed out and it looks like something's been sleeping in there. Wombats. Definitely wombats. And this one too. That's where I'd sleep if I was a wombat. Yeah, hard to tell, but it'd be rad to see a wombat. I've seen them in the wild before in Tasmania, just wandering around like snuffling stuff off the grass. The only ones you really see around here are dead ones on the side of the road, unfortunately. I'm going to wrap it up there because my batteries are down to about 20%, so I'm going to put the tripod away and stick my phone in my pocket. If you've watched this far again, that's awesome. Thanks for coming along, it's been a journey. Would have been so much easier on skis. Snowshoes out, didn't really need them, but they were there in case I did need them. The old feet have taken a pounding. Just take a moment to appreciate this rock. The big split in the side. I found some more footprints. Oh, what even is that? It's got 3 toes this time. What is that? Look at the size of it. Okay, look at the size of it compared to my boot. It's got a... deep heel, 3 toes, and it's got a man-sized. That one, what is that? That's not a, it's the size of a kid's shoe, but that's not a kid's boot because it's got 3 toes. What's got 3 toes? Like an ostrich or an emu? There's not ostriches or emus up here. What is that? That's heavy enough to push into the snow that much? I'm so confused. Somebody help me out. Found myself another nice rock to sit on. Just something else I wanted to add to the video. Getting lost is one of my favorite things to do. I've had quite a few times over the years where I've got lost, like proper lost, and it's turned into the best adventure. I kind of got a little bit off track today, and it wasn't in any danger, but once I come out the other side and I kind of know that I'm pretty close to home and, you know, got lost and seen things that I would never have seen if I hadn't have got lost, then I get this little rush, and I don't know what it is. It's not adrenaline, it's something else, but I always feel really good, and I always feel like I've made the most of my day or my weekend or whatever, and I need to do more of those things, because that is what makes me feel happy and what makes me feel content, is that little rush that I get that I've done something different and done something exciting and done something new and adventurous with my day. Maybe I'll make a video about the fun little adventures because I've done in the past, because they're kind of worth sharing, and I haven't, like, nobody knows about them. And what was that noise? I just heard a bird noise, a weird bird noise. Anyway, yeah, that was all. I don't know if I got out of my mouth what was in my head, but that'll do. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching. That is a very nice rock. That is not what I expected to see up here. Lake Mountain, would I recommend it? Yeah, like I probably won't come back here again. It's not for me, but you know, if you've got a family and you want to bring them up, do some tobogganing or just muck around in the snow because you've never been to the snow before, or you're a cross-country skier, yeah man, cool. Good fun, nice and close, relatively cheap to get into, like $67 at the gate, and that's it unless you need to hire gear or buy food or whatever. But what would I want them to do differently? Definitely provide water, man. Like if you have a private resort where people are doing strenuous exercise, I think it's an obligation to provide drinking water, like a basic human requirement. And the argument to that, obviously is, you know, you're responsible for your own food and water. Well, yeah, but also, you know, people get caught out sometimes, and you know, what if a whole family comes up here and spends a couple $100s for a day out at your resort, and forget water, and there's nothing to drink here except, you know, like $4 bottles of water. You know, it's going to cost them $50 of water just to hydrate their family for the day. It's crazy, and I get it. You know, it's probably a financial decision not to have free drinking water up here, but yeah, come on, man, it's Australia. You know, I think that's a snowball.